iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans. You see it down there. It's the last great Coliseum. The Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series for Red Light Racing has made it right here for round number 7. It's been a whirlwind of a season so far, with Michael Trevarthen topping all the races. Well, all but 2. He's picked up 3 out of the first 6 rounds, and well, now somebody here tonight is going to get a sword. To bring you all the racing action here, my name is Roger Muth, and alongside me is my good friend Al Smith. Al, welcome to the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway.
Why, thank you very much, Roger. Glad to be part of tonight's broadcast right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network as we get ready to go with tonight's race at Bristol and what will be a high-speed, high-stressful amount of racing here tonight. As we saw in practice, a lot of backup cars being used here tonight.
That is true, but as you said, backup cars and race, and it is time to get ready to go racing here tonight. Of course, our starting lineup here tonight is brought to us by our friends over at Six Rings Racing. This is your Six Rings Racing starting lineup. Starting on the front row, driving car number 2, this is Michael Trevarthen. His outside, it's Mr. Confusion, the 18 of A.J. Hamill. Starting back in P number 3, Justin Rigsby will pilot car number 3. He'll go 3rd, while Rob Higgins in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Higgins Hill Racing entry will go 4th. Brian Bianchi in the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe number 14, he will go 5th, while Dalton Williamson in car number 1 will go 6th. 7th on the starting lineup here tonight, it's the Braggs Motorsports, number 31 of Dave Bragg. Billy Edwards, the awkwardly old hipster, will start car number 73 back into the 8th position, while Jeff Stiles is back. And car number 85, he'll go 9th. And how about the new livery on this car? It's the Racing School number 50 of Dan the Man Butler.
Mike Castro will roll off in the 11th spot in car number 33, and outside of him is Brandon Feeney in car number 38. Thomas Killam will start off in row number 7, and outside of him, the RPM Motorsports, this is Mark Jenkins in car number 99. Aiden Alvecchione in car number 271 will start 15th. In 16th starting spot, we'll go to the 30 of Bob Higgins. Josh Buckley here to admin here tonight. Roger as he sits in the sin bin.
Well, that's your starting lineup brought to us by our friends over at Six Rings Racing. 16 cars to do the dance, to do the battle here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. They call it the Last Great Coliseum. These modifieds, the ground pounders of the asphalt, now take to the concrete here tonight. We're going to see which one of these drivers are going to be able to outlast. We've already talked about the backup cars that have made it out onto the speedway during our practice session. You don't want to have to try and, well, slide this car around here because these tires, we talk about a lot of horsepower with these modifieds, but what we don't talk about is they're very light. So light with a lot of horsepower and big tire, they normally stick. But these tires, I think, tonight are going to be a bigger talking point than what we make it seem.
Yeah, we heard about in practice down there in the pit area before coming live here tonight. As the tire temperatures seem to get high, the tires get greasy, and that could cause maybe a yellow flag or two. They get one set of extra Hoosier Racing tires here in the pits here tonight. So everybody has extra for Mr. Feelgoods, Roger. And the question will be, will we see them being used?
Oh, I believe everybody, if they get the chance, they will definitely come to pit road to use those for Mr. Feelgoods. That is for sure. They're free here on iRacing. Al, there's maybe a tire shortage all around the world, but here on iRacing, that's the greatest thing. You wreck it, it's free. You use the tires, those are free. You need some gas, hey, guess what? That's free too.
There definitely is. And you notice the pole sitter, Michael Trevarthen in that number 2 BK Paints entry, choosing the outside on the start here. We'll see how that works out for him as the pace car is about to hit pit road.
So as the iRacing.com safety car is about to hit pit road here tonight, that's be the first time it makes its way to pit road. Make sure that's the only time we see that beautiful iRacing.com safety car. The Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series here from Bristol are green as we race them to turn number 1. It'll be 16 drivers that do the battle here tonight as everybody make it off turn number 1 as they work down the back straightaway. Michael Trevarthen is the race leader. It'll put the battle back here for second, though. A.J. Hamill down to the inside in car number 18. It'll be Michael Trevarthen, lap number 1. Here comes Dalton Williamson to the party.
Dalton Williamson working the outside, rolling it on the outside right there behind the 40 of Higgins. Will now pull up to the right rear quarter panel of that Arts Barbershop number 18, and we'll move him. So Hamill back to fourth if they're starting on the front row, getting trapped down on the inside there, Roger. I think that was where you probably did not want to start. You got to get that momentum built up here with these tour modifieds. And just like that, they are working around here. Really quick laps, sub 15-second laps here to start the Bristol 100.
That's right, already 3 laps in the books. Dalton Williamson trying to get around Rob Higgins. Higgins has been a big talk of the town so far this season. He gets engaged, goes on vacation, gets a cowboy hat, and then this season now finds himself inside the top 4 in the championship standings, having himself a heck of a season already. He's already had 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s on the season, so we're going to watch to see if Rob Higgins can keep his great streak going here, as here comes the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. A lot of trash talking over the last couple of weeks about I'm going to need some windshield cleaner from these two drivers. Well, we'll see how that plays out at the end. I believe Dalton Williamson had to send Rob Higgins a nice gift basket after Stafford. We'll see which one gets the gift basket this week here at Bristol. Another driver that's on the move back here, that's Brian Bianchi's all over the back end of Justin Rigsby, and then he's got A.J. Hamill ahead of him. One driver a little sideways out of turn number 4 that time. That was number 33. That was Mike Taschereau in the racing school entry. Taschereau picking up 2 spots to work his way into the top 10 already in this one in the first only 8 laps that have been completed here tonight.
Yeah, right, good battle back there. Is Bianchi able to get around, or trying to get around to number 3 of Justin Rigsby, as they are battling pretty hard there for trying to get inside that 4th position. Now everybody's settling it back out. Single file formation. A little bit deeper in the field is David Braggs, and that number 31 starting to put some pressure on the 33 of Taschereau. They run the same lines through here, and right now it's about getting into that rhythm. Bristol, such a high-speed rhythm racetrack. You can see the multiple grooves already being used, and as these tires wear out, you're going to see the drivers searching for grip. You got to stay out of those marbles that are building on the outside of the speedway.
Yeah, I do expect this race to start to climb the banking a little bit. I don't know if we're going to be right up against the outside retaining wall or not here tonight, but I do expect us to start to climb. We're going to have to watch those marbles. You can already see them forming at the top of the speedway. The track, you can see it has that brightly colored concrete, and then it's the dark concrete, and then way up at the top against that black wall.
Oh, yellow flag down in turn number 1. 2 cars involved. Looks like the number 44. Oh, right in front of your race leader, nowhere to go. Trevarthen hitting the stopped car back there. I believe that was the 99 of Mark Jenkins. And Trevarthen nowhere to go. Heavy contact, Roger.
That was heavy contact. We'll have to see if that's a problem, as there comes the 99 of Mark Jenkins to pit row. We'll watch this back here. Let's see what happened. It's the 38 of Brandon Feeney. There's the 99 out ahead of this group. He's going to come out of turn number 4. He's going to climb the wall, and then Alvecchione and Feeney make the contact. Bob Higgins also made a little contact. I don't think there's much damage on the Feeney or Alvecchione machine, but the 99 of Mark Jenkins, there you see him. He was sitting there on the speedway, stopped as the race leaders were coming, and unfortunately, that number 2 of Michael Trevarthen right into the number 99 of Mark Jenkins. Let's see if we can ride on board here. Right on board with our checkered flag auto supply onboard camera. This is the 99 out of turn 4. So just a little bit of a wild ride that time for the 99 of Jenkins, and that was some absolutely hard contact there for car number 2. Does not look like he is actually coming down pit road at all, so Michael Trevarthen looks like he is going to stay out in that BK Paints entry.
Yeah, he's staying out on the racetrack. It looks like maybe the right front towed out just a little bit. We'll have to see if there is any handling or even engine damage to that Ford power plant that's underneath the hood of the number 2 of Trevarthen. The tough break there. Kind of a helpless feeling. That's one of the troubles here at Bristol. You sit so down and the G-forces push you down in the race seat. Kind of hard to see around the air cleaner. And just saw him at the last second there. So a tough break for your race leader, but still continues to lead after leading the first 16 laps here tonight.
Aiden Alvecchione is behind the iRacing.com safety car. He should be able to just go ahead and pass that once we get the 1 to go marker, as long as Aiden stays out there. Now I see him actually pulling to the bottom, so possibly the officials here tonight may put him just straight to the back. If they do put him to the back of the field here, that would then put him 1 lap down to the race leader. Still a lot of racing left here for Aiden if he has to go back to the back of the field. 1 caution flag, as long as he's not involved in it, would put him right back onto the lead lap and the same pace as the race leaders. We'll see how that plays out. We should get the 1 to go this time by. Remember, Mark Jenkins was involved in this wreck. Fortunately, he is down on pit road here, so he won't make the restart possibly. He's been put a multiple laps down here, unfortunately, for the 99 of Jenkins out of Virginia. A very rough start here tonight at the last great Coliseum of Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Jenkins down on pit road. I believe extensive suspension damage to that number 99. Hopefully we'll be able to get back into action here tonight, but any chances at a win for that team probably out the window, Roger.
So the field is being told to dome up 2 by 2. It'll be Michael Trevarthen choosing the outside lane with the wounded number 2. To the inside is team car. The BK Paints number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Then it'll be A.J. Hamill back in 3rd spot. Then Rob Higgins. Then it'll be Brian Bianchi, Justin Rigsby, rounding out the top 6 drivers here as the iRacing.com safety car will make its way to the safety of pit road. And there, when they come off turn number 4, is when we will fire this bad boy off here tonight once again after the first caution flag of the evening. 3 cars, call it 4 cars involved. Green flag up here as they all come across the stripe.
Trevarthen going to jump back out to the race lead. Williams will clear that number for the number 2 spot. A.J. Hamill battling the 40 of Higgins as they work off a turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Another battle right behind them is the 3 Justin Rigsby. Rigsby able to wrap the bottom, and they are stacked up 2 by 2 further in the field.
Further into the field, that's the 31 of Dave Bragg and the number 33 of Mike Taschereau back there. Right behind them, Thomas Killam picked up a big W just a couple of weeks ago. He's back there running into the 11th spot as they run currently. The top drivers have all gone single file in front of this group, so your best battle is back here for the 9th, 10th, and 11th position currently on the call of the order, pecking order. Right behind them, then it is the store maggot of Dan Butler. Of course, Dan Butler picking up a new number this week. He's still being scored on the timing and scoring as car number 8 for all the race fans that are tuning in, as he'll now take to the inside of that number 83 on Thomas Killam. Sideways for Butler. He'll hang on to it, but that boy was all over the road.
Yeah, Butler had a handful coming off the corner, now able to clear and get it back there. So he's right in front of car number 83 of Killam. So he works down here into the turn number 1, and just like that, it's the fastest. Your head will get wrapped around. You get dizzy here as your top 4 cars start to separate themselves from your 5th place running of Higgins and Justin Rigsby and AJ Hamill closing in on your top duo.
But as the top battle starts to heat up, Brian Bianchi also in the Culpeper Bakery Cafe, number 14, that Colony Tire and Service Center entry. He's right there. He's sitting in 6th. He's having himself a really good run here. We talk about the drivers, though, that have picked up the most positions here in the early going. We like to highlight those drivers that are having good runs so far. How about the man that started shotgun on the field, the driver out of Massachusetts, driving that checkered flag auto supply, number 30. That is Bob Higgins. He's already picked up 3 spots. That's one of the top moving drivers of the race here in the early going. And with him starting out back, there's only one place to go, and that's forward through the field. Currently, Bob Higgins sitting in position number 14. He's got Brandon Feeney out in front of him. That'll be the next car that he comes across.
Things starting to stack up at the front of the field now. Your top 5 underneath the blanket. Here comes Bianchi to join this battle. They're all stacked up behind the 2 of Trevarth, and you gotta wonder, is he just fast enough to hold off his teammate of Dalton Williamson? But is the damage really affecting him? He's not able to pull away like we saw him in the opening laps. Or is that just a ploy keeping him at bay? He's really keeping the inside of the racetrack locked up, and now they all work there, but they're starting to really stack up, and this is where patience is going to come into play. We're closing in on 20 laps to halfway at that lap 50 mark, and that's when we started to hear down in pre-race, Roger, that the tires were going to wear out and could start to get a little bit treacherous. Would be around lap 50. We're only 20 laps away, and these guys are racing hard. No, a bid for your race lead.
Battle for the race lead. That time off turn number 4, the one of Dalton Williamson. Got a little sideways once he got next to that number 2 machine. That will now leave the Arts Barber Shop. A.J. Hamill, number 18, to the battle for the second spot. Williamson down low, sideways once again off turn number 4. A little bit of a hump down there on the low line on the exit of turn 4. That's going to give the advantage to A.J. Hamill once again to the outside, and he's going to bring the number 3 of Justin Rigsby. Rigsby, remember, won the first round of the season. Now that'll slide Dalton Williamson from running second, going for the race lead, all the way back to the 4 spot. A.J. Hamill moves up 1. Contact up there, the 14 of Brian Bianchi. Hard into the outside wall. Thomas Killam involved in that also. A couple drivers having some pile up here on the front straightaway. There's the number 73 of Philly Edwards and Brandon Feeney involved. There's Killam. So that's going to really throw a curveball here tonight in a lot of these drivers. As the driver that's going to get the lucky dog now, though, how about Aiden Novecchione? He was sitting back there behind the field, just kind of riding around, waiting for a caution like this. Not involved. He will get back on the lead lap through this caution.
He will get back on the lead lap here, and that'll be a good thing for him as we have 3 drivers down on pit road. Your race leaders electing to stay out. Let's take a look and see what happened here to bring out our second yellow flag of the evening.
Watching that, all black number 14 and the number 85. There's the 85 right into the rear bar of car number 14 of Brian Bianchi. So Styles just making slight contact with Bianchi's Colony Tire and Service Center entry, and that will turn him around. That's going to collect a lot of these drivers back here. Let's see if we can ride on board here. Ride on board with Philly Edwards. Edwards lifts out the throttle like a lot of these drivers did off turn number 4, and unfortunately they all slide down the speedway. Edwards might get lucky. Didn't really make any contact there. Feeney looks like he'll be able to get that liquid molly entry turned back around also, but all that really was 2 drivers with their foot flat to the floor, and Bianchi tried to diamond it off while, well, Styles was already down to the inside.
Yeah, it was a little bit of hard left front contact for the number 33 of Philly, or the 73 of Philly Edwards. So interested to see how long they are. We got some takers down pit road during this yellow flag, though, Roger. We got Dan Butler, Mike Tashiro, Bob Higgins, all down pit road, taking at least right side so far here on pit road from my vantage point.
Yeah, not a bad strategy call here. We've had a couple caution flags, and, you are closing in. When we go back racing, it should be about 10 laps before the halfway point here tonight. So with 10 laps before halfway, you don't know if you're really going to get another one of those well, caution flags to really help you out to come to pit road. So why not come down and at least put 2 tires on your modified right here at this point? You're going to have to start at the back, but I mean, if there is another caution flag, think of all those drivers that just came down. That was, probably about 8-9 drivers that all just came to pit road. Your leaders, if they choose to come to pit road then on the next caution flag, well, now they're going to have to work their way through the field. We've seen how passing so far here in the first quarter of this race has been difficult. It's going to be difficult for them to come through those other drivers that have already put on at least right side tires.
Yeah, and I feel like right now, if you're starting on the inside road, that's not the road that you really want to be in. We saw Dalton Williamson bidding for your race lead, then got stuck down on the inside lane, and it really takes a lot of throttle control, a lot of driver patience not to wash up and get into the driver that's going to be on your outside trying to make that pass. So I think the inside line right now is not the place to be, at least on a restart. We'll see what happens to A.J. Hamill, who's going to start back on the front row on the inside. Justin Rigsby has speed in that fatted calf number 3 car. We'll see what happens to him. Also, a lot of good drivers, plus the drivers on fresh tires. We'll see how big of a difference it is. Here coming the green flag, this time off turn number 4.
It'll be the best number on the Speedway laps in the book. It'll be 39 laps here completed at the Bristol Motor Speedway after our second caution flag of the evening here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series. Front row will be that number 2, the BK Paints number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, and the Arts Barber Shop number 18 of A.J. Hamill. Everybody back up through the 2-speed gearbox. Here we go. Hamill's showing some big speed down on the inside. He'll clear off turn number 2. He'll slide to the outside. He'll block off the advantages of that number 2. Now here comes the 3 of Justin Rigsby.
Rigsby going to make a liar out of me down the inside just like A.J. Hamill did. It's a 2x2 battle for your race lead off turn number 2. The 18 of Hamill is going to have the momentum on the outside as he rips the center of the racetrack. New race leader, first one tonight, is the 18 of A.J. Hamill.
He's the race leader for the time being, but Justin Rigsby is right there. Michael Trevarthen hasn't really fallen back that far. There you see the 3 of Rigsby pushing the 18 of A.J. Hamill here tonight. I didn't know we were at the Daytona International Speedway. I thought we were at this little half-mile bull ring where the gladiators battle, and well, the Gladiators are out front here tonight at Bristol, but we have seen some bump drafting here in the early stages of this one. About, I'll call it this time, 7 laps from the halfway point. A.J. Hamill, the first driver that has taken the race lead, and that was on the restart on the inside lane. We have not seen anybody use the inside lane to their advantage, but now Rigsby trying to use it to his advantage to take the race lead.
He tries there now. He's going to have to tuck it back up to the outside. No, he stays down low. Trevarthen really working the bottom side of the racetrack. Is a draw even with A.J. Hamill. Hamill working the outside of the racetrack. Rigsby down low. New race leader at the line. Justin Rigsby by a bumper that time. Great battle up on the front of this one, and a lot of patience and respect between the drivers. They're able to run it that fast here at 125 plus miles an hour in the corner. So a lot of load, a lot of fast driving right here. So the race leader's 2x2. Trevarthen trying to figure out which lane to go with is going to get him back towards the front.
We talk about drivers in the field that have raced together a ton, and these modified drivers, they've been all together for years here on the iRacing.com platform.
Oh, one car around in turn number 1. That's the 31 of David Bragg. Bragg is sideways, and the yellow flag will come out. Sorry, Roger.
I was just about to say how they were better than you, but, well, I guess we'll kill that joke here as Dave Bragg brings out the caution flag. That Jiffy Lube entry, now it doesn't look like it's tracking very straight.
No, it looks like maybe the right side panhard bar knocked out of the back side of that modifier as it turkey walks down here at the pit road. So a tough break for the number 31 of Bragg as he'll come down pit road. I believe the lucky dog should go to the 38 of Feeney. Not sure if he was involved with this or not.
Well, we'll find out right here. Let's see what happens to Dave Bragg as loose out of the corner number 4 there. Goes down into turn number 1. Oh, a bunch of net code, Al. We hate that dirty word of net code. And actually, Brandon Feeney slaps the outside wall. I'm not sure how the officials are going to score that one. He wasn't actually part of the incident, but did get a piece of that wall. So just some very bad net code between that number 50 of Dan Butler and the 31 here of Dave Bragg as what's going to bring out the caution flag here just as we approach the halfway point of this race.
Yeah, you could have fit at least a car between them with that contact there. So tough break there for the 31 of Bragg. Not the way his night was supposed to go. But he can get some parts, though, at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply to fix that up for next week if he can't make it back out here tonight.
That is true. The Checkered Flag Auto Supply located in Ayer, Massachusetts, over on Park Street. They have everything that you need, whether it's race parts or to keep your daily driver on the road, or that very, very important tow rig. That's right. Any one of your trucks that you use to tow your race vehicle to the racetrack, they have the parts to keep it on the road and running cool. Contact your local Checkered Flag Auto Supply in Ayer, Massachusetts for all your auto parts need. I know one group that also uses the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, that's that racing school entry. There you see Dan Butler out there, camera fixated on that number 30. Well, Dan Butler throwing it back. Had some bad luck in the number 8 car, so here tonight he's going to pull out the number 50 car. That is one of the cars over at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply that if you did go to the if you went to the racing school, you'd be able to see that modified. And of course, there's a modified out there with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply sponsorship on the side of one of their race cars at the racing school. So pretty cool collaboration between Red Light Racing, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, and the racing school, all intertwined here with this league.
Yeah, and if you call it 877 Can Race, you might be able to drive that number 50.
I don't think they're going to let you.
No, probably not.
Which is probably a good thing because they'd like to keep that in perfect, pristine shape in case any of the race fans out there watching tonight would like to head that way. Of course, one driver that would like to see the green flag come back out, that was Justin Rigsby, because he was battling for that race lead. A.J. Hamill, once again, as the caution car lights do go back out, it'll be A.J. Hamill in car number 18 to the outside, and now here comes number 3 of Justin Rigsby, and well, we saw A.J. Hamill take the race lead away from Michael Trevarthen on that restart last time from the inside lane. So we'll see if Rigsby has learned a thing or two if he can go and get that race lead from A.J. Hamill. The momentum won't be built up in the first handful of corners here, so the inside lane may roll.
We will see here right now the Attitude Graphics, number 3 to the inside. The Empty the Tanks Arts Barbershop, number 18 NY. Your front row. Waiting on the flagman to throw the green flag, and just like that, we are back underway, and a good jump for the 18 of Hamill, but Rigsby gonna clear him off of turn number 2.
It's exactly what we saw in the last restart. The inside lane just able to really roll. There's Michael Trevarthen really diving hard into turn 3 to try to get around the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Not going to be able to do it. And all the way back over here into turn number 1 they go. Now single file, 1, 2, 3, 4. Justin Rigsby officially being scored as your race leader, the 3rd race leader of the evening.
Yeah, 3rd race leader for car number 3 is Rigsby. Now opens up about a half car length advantage over the 18 of Hamill, and the 1 of Dalton Williamson has gotten around Trevarthen. So Williamson back to 3rd now, pushing early race leader to number 2 of Trevarthen. And you got to really start to wonder, Roger, is that contact with the 99 of Jenkins really hurt the number 2 car? Doesn't seem to have the pace or the maneuverability that he did a little bit earlier on in this feature event.
You also got to think, though, he was really fast in the early goings here tonight. Does that mean he wore the good stuff off those tires? There was a reason, I believe, that the number 1 of Dalton Williamson wasn't really trying for the race lead early on in this one. Maybe now Michael Trevarthen trying to nurse that car back around here. I think once we see 25 to go, the gloves really come off and everybody's going to try to go to the front, just like Mike Tastro is trying to bring the racing school number 33 around the number 85 of Jeff Stiles. Stiles sitting in that 5th spot with car number 85 currently, while Mike Tastro has moved up 5 spots. He'd like to pick up 6 as he goes to the inside in turn 1.
Yeah, Tastro right down at the bottom, almost clips the apron, almost contact off of turn number 2. Somehow they stayed off of each other. No paint swap just yet between the 33 and the 85 of Stiles and Tastro. Tastro right back down to the inside, trying to make a move. That time clips the apron, gets sideways and hard into the inside wall. Mike Tastro. So far we stay green, but the 33 sits facing backwards on the backstretch. Now your race leaders will bear down on him. It's a tough break for the 33 of Tastro, who is vying for a top 5 position. Now finds himself 1 lap down with a hurt number 33.
He'll take that car to pit road here. Unfortunately, it looks like his finish that looked like a top 5 contender might not finish inside the top 5 here tonight. He'll go another lap down. So as he's on pit road, 2 laps down now for the number 33 of Mike Tashrow. And he'll probably go at least another 2 laps down as they'll probably try to check the tires out on that car. Make sure the toe is straight enough to get the 33 back out there. But right now he joins Dave Bragg, Philly Edwards, Thomas Killam, Brian Bianchi, and Mark Jenkins all down on pit road. It's been a rough night for a lot of these drivers, but we're just over halfway home. Working lap number 65 here tonight. The third race leader of the evening, Justin Rigsby, out front. It's been Rigsby, Hamill, and Michael Trevarthen that have all led laps, but they got Dalton Williamson right there. And now here comes A.J. Hamill battling back for the race lead.
A.J. Hamill with a head of steam down the front stretch last time. Has to slide it back up, falls back into the number 2 spot. Now, here comes the number 1 of Williamson. Williamson with a bit down low, can't quite do anything with him. A.J. Hamill leaves the line open for him, but able to pull away from him. So your top 2 cars separated by a car length now. So they work off of turn number 4. Top 4 cars about 2 seconds in front of the battle back there for 5th, 6th, and 7th, which have kind of settled themselves out as well. So these top 4 drivers really putting some distance between themselves and the rest of the field.
So everybody settled into a groove. Aiden Alvecchione, remember him? He was in that caution flag to start this race off. Well, he got himself back onto the lead lap, and the fan favorite number 271 of Aiden Alvecchione has moved his way back inside the top 10. He is currently running 9th on the Speedway, plus 6 spots for him. But the talk of the town is all going to be at the water cooler on Friday here. The number 30 of Bob Higgins inside the top 10, running in 8th position, picking up 9 running spots. And right ahead of him, how about his son? That's Rob Higgins out in front of him, and Bob has his sights set on him. I'm looking at the times. Last time by, it was actually a dead heat for that, for their lap time, a 14.3 to a 14.3. So let's see as they come back across here who's the faster of the 2 last time by. How about it? Bob Higgins by 1/100th of a second faster last lap.
Yeah, those 2 are putting on a good show here. Good to see them have a good run here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway as we are quickly closing in on the last quarter of this race. Those 2 drivers settling it out. Right there in front of them is Bob Higgins. And how about Dan Butler, the first driver that came down pit road? He's the first one with fresh tires, and he is closing in quickly on the backside of the 85 of Jeff Stiles.
Yeah, Stiles was also wrapped up in a caution flag here tonight, but Dan Butler using those 2 tires that he put on the right side of that Racing School number 50 entry, kind of carrying the banner right now because Mike Tashrow has not been able to come back out onto the speedway. It looks like his night is actually done here tonight. Dave Bragg is the only driver that's down on pit road right now, and Dave Bragg would have to get his machine back out onto the raceway here in the next 5 laps for him to be able to leapfrog the number 33 of Mike Tashrow. We'll see if that does happen here, or if this is, well, just going to be the way that they finish back there. Tashrow being scored in 11th, or Dave Bragg back there into the 12th position. Brandon Feeney is the last car running on the track here tonight. He is currently being scored 1 lap down in the Liquid Moly K1 Graphics entry. He is sitting back there in P number 10 here tonight. He was wrapped up in 2 caution flags and did go down a lap, and unfortunately did not get the lucky dog the last time we had the caution flag. But with 23 laps to go, as they storm down into turn number 3, Justin Rigsby currently leads the field.
Yeah, Rigsby last time by was one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. This time by the fastest car, well, that would go to your 4th place runner, the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. So these, all 4 drivers make that, are running still in the 14.4 range. Here is now Rigsby starting the stretch out over that race lead, over the wily short track veteran of A.J. Hamill. He's got Trevarthen and Williamson breathing down his neck, though, trying to take away that number 2 position.
Trevarthen with a big wiggle, as he would call it, that time out of the corner. He had a huge wiggle, had his hands full in car number 2. Now has lost a ton of ground. He should be able to make it back up. A.J. Hamill taking another peek down to the inside. Not going to have anything to do down there. So 1 through 4 has not changed here. 19 laps ago. It's Rigsby, it's Hamill, it's Williamson, it's Trevarthen. Those BK Paints cars do look fast. The question that's going to be is how much tire have they saved running behind Justin Rigsby and A.J. Hamill for the last, so-called 45 laps so far here tonight. Jeff Stiles still back there. He's got Dan Butler all over the back end of his car. So Stiles trying to hold off Butler. Butler has got there. Now it's going to be a whole nother thing of you got there. Now can you get around him? as they come by the stripe. There's C17 to go as they look up at the pylon here tonight. 17 laps to go in Bristol here. 100 laps the scheduled distance. Still Justin Rigsby, AJ Hamill, Dalton Williamson, Michael Trevarthen, and now Rigsby starting to pull away a little bit from AJ Hamill.
Yeah, 2 laps to go. AJ Hamill got really sideways off of turn number 2, and that let Williamson take a bit to the inside, but both of him and Trevarthen had to back out of it, so now they try to regroup and chase down your race leader, the number 3, Rigsby, who has opened up about a 5-car length advantage as they work down the back stretch. Battle for that 5th position, between Jeff Stiles and the number 50 of Dan Butler, heating up as Butler has caught them as they work through the corner.
Yeah, Dan Butler still all over the back end of that car. Your front group still holding strong as Rob Higgins 1 second over old dad back there. That hasn't really changed any. And then Aidan Nalvecchione about 1.5 seconds back from Bob Higgins. That's how your top 9 cars are currently running as we're closing in on the 10 laps to go here tonight in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series. 2 laps to go before the 10 to go marker here, and it's been a good one. Couple cautions in the beginning to the middle stages of this one, but we've been clean and green ever since then, and this field is really broken apart except for the top 4 drivers with 11 laps to go. Rigsby's lead is starting to shrink again. AJ Hamill is coming back.
Yeah, AJ Hamill has found another groove right now. He's brought the number 1 of Williamson and the 2 of Trevarthen with him. All 3 of those drivers closing in on your race leader, running about a 1/2 car length lower than your current race leader, the 3 of Rigsby. The higher you run, the less tire scrub you're going to have, though, in these cars. With just 9 laps to go, when did you start using the bumper? We know that we have that 3-tap Teddy rule, and these 2 are modifieds. When is it going to come into play here? Williamson has been playing nice on the back side of the 18 of Hamill. Is he going to ride there, or will we see the 18 get moved?
Well, I think, oh boy, big wreck, your top 3. Second and third place going for a ride. AJ Hamill loose off turn number 2. And the number 1 of Dalton Williamson getting crossed up there. I believe him and Trevarthen had a little contact. That's going to shake things up now. Oh boy, Rigsby still going to be scored the race leader. He was the only one inside the top 4 that didn't get any contact. And this is going to take us to a bit of a shootout here now. Oh boy, what just happened here with under 10 laps to go with the race leaders? We're going to take the look here. Watch this back here. We might have to slow this one down. Off turn number 2. Hamill goes down there. He gets on the apron a little bit with the left side tires. Tries to save it. He's in the middle of a drift. There's the 1. Gives a little tap to the 18. Then the number 1 lifts out of the throttle. And the 2 into the back of that 1 machine. Going to turn AJ Hamill hard back into the outside wall. No contact when the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen goes by. But still, that is a heavy impact for the 18 of AJ Hamill. The number 1 of Dalton Williamson also making very, very hard contact to that inside retaining wall. And I actually don't think that he is going to be able to carry on here tonight. That car took a big hit. Watch it back here once again, live time. Hard impact for Hamill, harder impact for the 1 of Dalton Williamson. And so, I mean, those were 2 of your strongest cars here tonight.
Yeah, they were. We had just talked about how they ran down your race leader. But guess who this yellow flag helps out? It helps out the 38 of Feeney. Feeney back on the lead lap. AJ Hamill's been down on pit road and away. It looks like the 1 car Williamson still down on pit road, or back on pit road, I should say. And Rob Higgins just coming out of pit road as well. So a little bit of tire strategy. I don't know if the tires will make that big of a difference. But I think if you were AJ Hamill and Dalton Williamson, you had to come down, check out that damage. So now we will see what happens here towards the end of this one. And now it's going to be a shootout, like you said, Roger. 4 circuits to go. Next time by will be 3 laps to go. I believe that will put us into overtime, or we might get back the green flag action before that. But has Trevarthen saved enough since being shuffled out of the race lead, let's say? But now some new players up front.
Yeah, Jeff Styles is there, Dan Butler, Bob Higgins, Aiden Alvecchione going for another top 5 here tonight. We will see if the iRacing.com safety car lights do go out here. I think we would still get a 2-lap shootout before having to go to overtime. I think. We'll see how the officials play this one here tonight at Bristol. But it's currently Justin Rigsby, Michael Trevarthen, Jeff Styles, Dan Butler, Bob Higgins, your top 5. All drivers that were involved in that wreck will carry on here tonight, and we will get the iRacing.com safety car lights to go out. Justin Rigsby will pull to the inside. He'll take the inside lane here on this restart. So it'll be just a 2-lap shootout. So a green, a white, and a checkered flag here tonight.
Lights are out, and Rigsby going to choose the inside. Remember, at the start of the race, we saw Trevarthen start the race on the outside. Interesting to see how the inside line has become the preferred line on the restarts. Let's see if it helps out the number 3 of Justin Rigsby. The iRacing.com pace car down and away. It's going to be a 2-lap shootout. The green flag is up. And we will wait for it to wave, and we will be back underway. Green flag is up, and we're back underway. Trevarthen ready to go, and he gets a great launch on the outside.
Oh boy, with 2 laps to go, that number 2 going back to the point, but here comes number 3 of Justin Rigsby. He wanted to dive to the inside. He'll get there, maybe a little tire rubbing as they come out of turn number 4. They'll be side by side, and the white flag will fly, presented here tonight by the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. 1 lap to go. The battle is for the race lead, and then they're stacked up back there. They're going to wad them up out of turn number 2, but the white flag has already flown. Who will win the race here tonight? Contact, it will go to the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen.
Somehow, Dalton Williamson's going to come back to finish 3rd. Rob Higgins, 4th unofficially, and Jeff Styles will drive it back around for a top 5 as there was big carnage on the backstretch there on the white flag lamp. How about Michael Trevarthen with that restart, holding off the number 3 of Justin Rigsby.
That is all unofficial, of course, here tonight at Bristol, but picking up his 4th unofficial win of the season. The number 2 of Michael Trevarthen will do the victory donuts. Let's take a look back here. What actually happened on that final lap here? Watch the 85 of Styles down to the inside, and they just made contact coming off. Aiden Alvecchione nowhere to go. AJ Hamill tumbling down the back straightaway also. Just a lot of carnage here. Then everybody knows it's the final lap, and at this point, the battle is on. Everybody's trying to get their cars pointed back into the right direction. So just a crazy one here tonight at Bristol to finish this one off. We're going to take a quick step away. We'll be back with your Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show here tonight after these messages.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum, playing host to this round for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series for Red Light Racing. And boy, what a race it was for 100 laps here at the highest bank concrete track on the schedule. But man, the Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show doesn't wait for everybody to get holy shirts and pants, that's for sure. So let's head down trackside to talk to the drivers that finished on the podium here tonight. Starting off on the podium finishers, he drives car number 2. How about it, Michael Trevarthen? Quick time in practice, quick time in qualifying, and then all of a sudden, the Hungry Hippos came knocking.
Yeah, it was a good race there, man. Lots of fun there with AJ, Justin, Dalton. You throw a blanket over all 4 of us there for probably a good 50, 60 laps. A hell of a ride, though.
It was a heck of a ride, but everybody's going to be talking about tomorrow is how did you take the race lead back after having a little contact damage to car number 2?
Yeah, I was actually unchecking my fuel, not paying attention, and didn't see the car sideways in the road there, or the track. So, yeah, definitely got into mark there. Apologize. And then, it looks like AJ and Justin scooped me on the bottom there on a restart, and we pretty much just rode nose to tail there for a little while there. And, I don't know what happened on that last restart. I don't know if Justin didn't fire or what happened, but, I couldn't believe she stuck on the top like that.
Stuck on the top, you two drove it away side by side, battling for the final 2 laps here tonight, and you will come out picking up your 4th win of the season. You came in, with the championship lead, which was just the slim 11 points over Dalton Williamson. You're going to beat him by 2 spots here tonight, so that championship battle is going to start to stretch a little bit here, and we are after the halfway point here. Officially, we head to Langley, New Smyrna, Southern National, Richmond, and Martinsville to wind down the season. Can you keep this momentum that you've had so far in the early portion of this season rolling the rest of the way?
I think Langley's going to look a lot like Milwaukee, another flat track, so I definitely struggle on those. So I'm not going into high hopes for next weekend. We'll put in some practice and see what she unloads off like the trailer.
Well, we'll let you load this one back up so you can unload it next week. Who do you got to thank, though, as the red carpet rolls out? The microphone is yours.
Definitely big shout out to Rev Esports, BK Paints, McConey Setup Shop, Platinum RV. Hats off to you in the booth there, Roger. You guys do a great job, you and Al both. And Josh, I think he was the eye in the sky for race admin tonight. So hats off to the league itself. I want to give a big shout out to my smoking hot wife, Melinda. And you guys have a hell of a night.
There you hear it from Mr. Big Wiggle himself. Car number 2, the BK Paints entry. Michael Trevarthen comes back here in that late race restart to steal the win away. He'll pick up his 4th win of the season. Al, I believe you're standing down there, though, with the driver of car number 3, who will pick up a 2nd place finish tonight.
Yeah, we're standing down here with a fresh haircut from Heritage Barbershop with the number 3 of Justin Rigsby. And Justin, you had a fast hot rod there and put up a hell of a battle coming to the checkered flag there with that restart on the inside. It looked like early on the outside was the place to be, but then the inside ended up being a good restart place there. Talk us through this race. It was a very high speed and probably high stress behind the wheel.
Yeah, we were fast. Just trying to take our time early on. Just let the tires settle in. But I had a lot of speed rolling through the middle and coming off on the bottom. And, it seemed like everybody else around me was getting in a little deeper, but I was coming off a lot faster. But I know I struggled a while trying to get around AJ. And then a couple of restarts, I got lucky picking up a couple spots and finally got to the lead and was hoping to cruise one home, but ended up losing it there on that last restart, and just disappointing. Felt like we had a ride that could win tonight.
It's always a tough feeling to be disappointed with a 2nd place finish. Qualified 3rd here tonight. Ran inside, I would say, the top 3 all night long there for the most part. Just how I guess frustrating is it when you have the runs, especially at such a fast place like here at Bristol, where you have to check up and not only you can't dive to the bottom and open that outside line because someone could fill that hole. I guess how much of a chess game is it behind the wheel when you got to try to make your moves?
Believe it or not, I felt mentally prepared coming into it, knowing that this is how this place runs. I mean, I love Bristol. It's a great track, puts on a good show, and I found myself patient early on and just trying different things, trying to get comfortable on the bottom, because these things were all over the place hitting the track, and it just seemed like if you bobbled a little bit, you either were gone or you're going to lose a lot. So it took me a while to get some courage to really drive down there. But like I said, I felt like we was good on the top, the bottom, wherever I decided to go, we were managing, and just hate that we let that last restart get away from us. AJ had good luck on the bottom 2 in a row, and I thought that was going to be the place to be. But I went back and watched it probably 6-7 times sitting here, just trying to figure out what I did wrong, and it just, I don't know. You see me hit the throttle, and you just see the 2 take off better. I don't know how else to decipher it. I don't see anything crazy that stands out. We just let it get away.
Well, second place, nothing to shake a stick at. I know you got a few sponsors on the side of this race car you'd like to thank. We'll let the roll the red carpet out here for what is a beautiful paint job here on this number 3 car.
Yeah, this 3's brought to you by Attitude Graphics. Makes it look good. We have Ryan's Fatted Calf meat shop on the car, as well as Heritage Barbershop to keep us looking good for these interviews. So overall, it's a good point tonight. Just hate we couldn't come away with it, and we'll try to get them next week.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The number 3 of Justin Rigsby, a little defeated, but will come home with a second place finish here tonight. And we will move on to Roger. I believe you caught up with our third place finisher right here on the front stretch.
Yeah, and the question that's going to go here tonight, Dalton, is where the heck did you come from at the end of this one? Because, well, the final stages of this one, you were running inside the top 4. All of a sudden, all chaos broke loose there out of turn number 2. You had to go all the way to the back after going to pit road, and then a big crash. And all of a sudden, you're third.
Yeah, like I said earlier when I was talking to you, I came off the corner and everybody disappeared. So I just went up high, kept my nose clean, and kind of Days of Thundered it. And it worked out on the good side of things tonight.
So what you're saying is a movie from 1990, before you were actually born, helped you out here tonight.
Indeed.
That's just showing you, race fans, this is how young driver this number 1 is. He wasn't even born when Days of Thunder was a thing. But hey, another great run. When you look at it points nights, you're not going to gain as many points as you thought when you showed up here unloading with a fast, hot rod like you did here tonight. You came in battling Michael Trevarthen and Justin Rigsby for this championship. And, well, Michael Trevarthen has been on the hot run here as of late, and he'll gain a little bit. But some of these tracks that we're going to are some of the tracks that you like to run coming up.
Yeah, me and Mike were just talking about that. I think next week, Mike knows, and a few other guys in this series know, Lanley's probably the strongest track we go to. So I think we'll unload probably one of the best cars, maybe the best car next week out of me and Mike. I don't know yet, but definitely looking forward to next week.
Next week does look to be a fun one for these modifieds, but hey, I know the 2 haulers already loaded up. I know your guys are tapping their foot over there because they want to get a couple drinks yet here tonight. So what do you say? Who's on the side?
First and foremost, I want to thank Josh and all the admin of Red Light Racing, Checkered Flag Auto Supply for sponsoring the series. As far as my sponsors go, BK Paints, Platinum RV Services, McConey Setup Shop, Trevor, and all the guys helped me on the side of the Super Late Model stuff, and Reb Esports. Other than that, not too much.
There you hear it from car number 1 of Dalton Williamson here tonight. He'll come back to finish P number 3. That'll do it for your Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show with your top drivers here tonight. Of course, Michael Trevarthen picking up his 4th win of the season. Justin Rigsby coming up on the podium once again, along with Dalton Williamson. 4th place here tonight, Rob Higgins, qualified 4th, finished 4th after all that chaos on the back straightaway. Jeff Stiles will finish 5th. Aiden Avecchione picking up 9 spots here tonight after going a lap down early. He'll finish 6th. The number 50 of Dan Butler will finish 7th. Brandon Feeney was 8th. Bob Higgins was 9th. And AJ Hamill, unfortunately, will finish back into the 10th position. That's your top 10 unofficial results here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Al, it was a crazy one here at the last Great Coliseum.
It was a lot. It was a lot of hot, heavy racing. A lot of 2 and 3 wide action there, and that last lap did not disappoint. I know a few drivers going to go home scratching their head, trying to figure out what happened and what could they have done differently to get a better finish. But overall, what a great night here it was for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply 100 at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And, well, Roger, if weather permits, maybe I will make the trip to the next one. If not, well, I'm sure you can hold down the fort without me.
That's right. We're going to head to Langley on May the 26th. The next time these modifieds are back onto the asphalt for racing. Then we head to New Smyrna, Southern National, Richmond, and Martinsville on June the 30th to wrap up the second season of the Modified Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But with everybody at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody with Six Rings Racing, Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe, Holy Shirts and Pants, and everybody at the Red Light Racing Series. My name is Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. That's Al Smith. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show here from the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway, and until we see you next time, race fans, we hope you stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.